On November 1st, 2022, rapper Takeoff from the hip-hop trio Migos was killed in Houston, Texas. The 28-year-old was hit with a stray bullet after an altercation following a game of dice and died on the scene, according to police reports. He was with his uncle and fellow Migos member Quavo, who witnessed his nephew's death. In the aftermath of the tragedy, Takeoff received an outpouring of tributes and reactions from fans, celebrities, and the hip-hop community who were devastated by his loss. Here are 10 notable reactions to Takeoff's sudden death. Number 10, Keke Palmer. Actress, singer, and TV personality Keke Palmer has been in the industry since the early 2000s, getting her start as a child actress. Today, she is one of the most awarded actresses of her generation. She was even included in Time magazine's 100 Most Influential People in the World. Palmer was one of many popular names who reacted to Takeoff's sudden passing. In a post on her Instagram account, the Primetime Emmy Award winner put up a photo of the Migos rapper, along with a caption that lamented not only Takeoff's death, but the existence of a video of what happened. Palmer said, "From the tragedy of the death to the tragedy of there being a video of it online, it's all just tragic, and I am so sorry to his whole family and all he touched." Palmer is also a vocal champion of numerous advocacies. Her support for the Black Lives Matter movement and involvement in the George Floyd protests in 2020 attest to her inclination toward social activism. The tragedy struck a chord with Palmer as Takeoff was the latest victim of another issue plaguing the Black community, the rising body count of hip-hop stars due to gun violence. Number 9, Ya Rule. Migos is considered as one of the most influential hip-hop and trap acts of the 21st century, and the impact of Takeoff's death on the entire hip-hop community proves this. Among the countless hip-hop artists who reacted to the young rapper's death was Ya Rule, a known artist himself who enjoyed massive success in the early 2000s. Many of his hits were collaborations with other musical acts, including Christina Milian, Ashanti, and most notably Jennifer Lopez. Ya Rule took to Twitter to air his grievances and also took the opportunity to call for an end to the killings within the hip-hop scene. He likely referred to a string of recent shootings that took the lives of other young hip-hop artists, such as P&B Rock, Pop Smoke, and Nipsey Hussle. Takeoff is the latest in this series of deaths and is already the 6th victim of gun violence in the hip-hop community for this year alone. Number 8, Katy Perry. Undoubtedly one of the world's biggest musical stars, Katy Perry has continuously shone under the spotlight with more than a decade of hits, awards, and accomplishments under her name. And like other musical icons, Perry was also affected by the shocking death of the 28-year-old rap star. She went on Twitter following Takeoff's death to offer her condolences to the rapper and his family, calling the event so tragic and noting that, "My heart breaks for his family and my friends." Her tweet also shared a clip from news outlet Reuters that reported on the tragic event. The Fireworks singer collaborated with Migos on her 2017 album Witness, where the rap trio was featured on her single Bon Appetit. The single peaked at number 59 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The song is also known for its bizarre music video that garnered 16 million views within 24 hours after premiering on YouTube. Number 7, Gucci Mane. Gucci Mane is considered one of the pioneers of modern trap music and helped define the genre throughout the 2000s. In that regard, his influence is reflected in the music of newer trap artists, including Migos. He eventually became one of the group's most frequent collaborators, so it's a given that he and the Migos boys have formed quite a bond. In the wake of Takeoff's tragic passing, Gucci Mane posted a photo of the young rapper on his Instagram account with the brief caption, "This broke my heart." The 42-year-old star's collaborations with Migos include their 2017 single Slippery, which peaked at number 29 on the Billboard Hot 100, and Gucci's single I Get the Bag, which also featured the trio. This year, Gucci collaborated with Quavo and Takeoff for the song Us vs. Them. Sadly, it was the last time they would work together. Number 6, James Corden. One of the most known talk show hosts and TV personalities today, James Corden also set aside time to acknowledge Takeoff after his tragic death. On the November 1st episode of The Late Late Show with James Corden, which aired less than 24 hours after Takeoff was killed, the host paid tribute to the late rapper. Corden remembered how he felt Takeoff's love for music, which drove him to success. He also recalled Quavo's story of Takeoff getting his stage name because he usually recorded his lines in one take. Corden described the situation as heartbreaking to anyone who knew him and to all of his fans, and offered his condolences to the friends and family that the beloved rapper left behind.
Takeoff helped define trap music, and he put it on a national stage.
Migos have guested on The Late Late Show on a couple of episodes, the most notable being their hilarious carpool karaoke with Corden back in 2018. Number 5, Drake. Another famous hip-hop icon that reacted to Takeoff's death was Drake. The Canadian rapper rose to prominence starting in the late 2000s and has since become one of hip-hop's most celebrated rappers and one of the world's best-selling artists. Drake collaborated with Migos on several occasions and even toured with the group. Drake paid tribute to Takeoff on Instagram with a photo of the two on stage during the Aubrey and the Three Migos tour, which he co-headlined with Migos in 2018. In the caption, he wrote, "I got the best memories of all of us seeing the world together and bringing light to every city we touch. That's what I'll focus on for now." Drake collaborated with Migos on 3 separate occasions. The first one was for the remix of Migos' debut single Versace back in 2013. Drake partnered with the trio again in 2018 for the single Walk It, Talk It, which became one of Migos' most popular and highest charting songs. Their last collaboration was on the song Having Our Way from Migos' latest studio album Culture 3, released in 2021. Number 4, Khloe Kardashian. You know you've made an impact when a member of the Kardashian family acknowledges and pays tribute to you. The third among the Kardashian siblings, Khloe gained popularity thanks to the hit reality TV show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She was notably married to former basketball player and NBA champion Lamar Odom, who she brought along for another reality TV series, Khloe and Lamar. Besides her media fame, Khloe is also a fashion icon with several retail businesses in the industry. After hearing of Takeoff's death, Khloe went on Twitter to air her condolences, lamenting that the rapper died over something so trivial. Like Yarul, she also called for a stop to these killings, writing, "These senseless acts have got to end. So sad." Number 3, Jemele Hill. Jemele Hill may not have the star power of others on the list, but there's a lot to unpack from her reaction to Takeoff's death. Hill is a contributing writer for The Atlantic and a podcast host. Before writing for The Atlantic, Hill worked for 12 years at ESPN. Hill poured her thoughts on Twitter, which went beyond the usual condolences to Takeoff's friends and family. In her tweet, she recalled hearing about the killings of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls as a college student in the 90s, and how she thought that there was no way we'd ever experience anything remotely close to that again. But with Takeoff being the latest in a series of gun-related deaths in the hip-hop community, she says, now it's happening so frequently that you barely have time to recover before someone else is killed. Tupac and Biggie were the most infamous victims of gun violence in the hip-hop world during the 90s. Not long after, TMZ caught up with Hill to get more thoughts on the tragedy. Hill expressed that she has had enough of gun violence continuing to threaten the lives of rappers and urged people to find ways to stop it. She encouraged industry leaders, artists, and record labels to engage in a conversation with politicians to help address the pervasive effects of gun violence on the hip-hop community.
I think now it's time for hip-hop to make a similar stand, like they did in the early 90s and the late 80s, and say enough is enough.
Number 2, Offset and Cardi B. None of Takeoff's group mates in Migos have publicly commented on the tragedy, at least for now. But between the 2 remaining Migos members, Offset is the closest to breaking his silence. To honor his departed bandmate, Offset quietly changed his Instagram profile photo to that of Takeoff and added a silver heart emoji. Meanwhile, Offset's wife and chart-topping rapper Cardi B also paid a subtle tribute to the late Migos rapper by sharing a video clip of Takeoff originally tweeted by Complex Music. The clip is an interview with the 3 members of Migos and starts with the question, "What is the best gift that each of you guys have ever got?" Takeoff was the second to answer and showed off a ring on his finger with a photo of him and his mother saying, "It's always going to stay with me too. I ain't never going to take it off."
My mom, Duke gave me this ring right here. You know what I mean? When I, you know what I'm saying? It's a picture of me and her on it.
That's fire.
And it don't matter if I have every ring on my finger iced out, somebody will say something about this ring right here.
Yeah.
So it always, you know what I'm saying? It's always gonna stay with me too, you know what I mean? Like I ain't gonna never take it off.
Complex Music tweeted the clip a day after Takeoff's passing with the caption, "Family Forever." As one of those closest to Takeoff and his bandmate, Offset is understandably still shaken with what happened. Sooner or later, Offset would have something to say, but for now, during a period of grief, perhaps these subtle tributes are all that he and his wife can say. Number 1, Designer. Designer's reaction is by far the most emotionally charged among countless mourners and heartbroken peers and fans. An up-and-coming rapper who has enjoyed relative success, Designer's music is influenced by trap and southern hip-hop, which Migos helped popularize for a new generation of rappers. When Designer caught news of Takeoff's death, he went on Instagram Live and unleashed a storm of grief and anger. Designer struggles to cope with the loss as he cries while condemning the crime that took Takeoff. In a fit of emotion, he says that he's done with rap and that this version of me is done, while pointing to a plaque for his successful 2015 single, Panda.
It's done! It's done! It's done! It's done! It's done! It's done!
He also mentioned P&B Rock, Nipsey Hussle, and Biggie Smalls in addition to Takeoff. The Brooklyn-based rapper seems to have had enough with the killings in hip-hop, and Takeoff's death was his final straw. Whether Designer's decision to quit rap is final or just a heat-of-the-moment thing, only time will tell. The outpouring of grief and love for the Migos rapper proves that Takeoff was more than just a rising talent. He was also a beloved friend and influential icon who touched millions of lives through his music, even if he was able to do so for only a brief amount of time. What's your reaction to the shocking and tragic death of Takeoff? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.